Hi, my name is Elizabeth Mendenhall, and we have real estate offices with RE/MAX in Columbia, Missouri, and also Jefferson City. And I'm one of the brokers of the office, and I wanted to talk to you today about escalation clauses. Escalation clauses are used in markets and many times when there are multiple offers on a property. So an escalation clause can be a new form, a different form. They aren't traditionally used in Missouri, but we're starting to see more of them as the market continues to change. So what is an escalation clause? What it means is when somebody, a buyer, is interested in buying a house, they obviously start with the price that they want to offer for the house. Now, it's really critical and important that you talk to your realtor to determine what the best price is that you want to make for a competing offer. But sometimes you know that there's other offers out there, and maybe your goal is to absolutely 100% get the house. So if that's your goal, maybe you want to try to put an escalation clause in to escalate the price a little higher if someone else comes in with an offer higher than yours. In that instance, what you would do is you would add an escalation clause to your offer. So an escalation clause should identify the address of the property. It's going to identify the initial price of which you're offering, and then how far you're willing to escalate your offer. So it kind of goes like this. Let's say that there's a house for $300,000 and you're concerned that there's going to be multiple offers on that house. So you offer $300,000, but you're willing to go $1,000 higher than what someone else might be offering, up to what would be then called a cap of $305,000. So your initial offer includes the offer for $300,000. If another written bona fide offer came in from another buyer for $303,000, your escalation clause would then kick in and would up your offer to $304,000, that being now the highest offer, and hopefully then you would have the seller sign the offer. So that's kind of the general concept. Now, there's a couple of things that can be tricky with the escalation clause. One is that you need to have a cap. It would be foolish to sign an escalation clause without any cap on it at all, because then what might happen is, let's say somebody comes in and they make an offer for, just let's use a crazy number, $400,000. Then your offer would escalate to $1,000 above that highest price. And in that instance, it's probably not realistic because remember the original sales price was $300,000. So that's an extreme of the situation, but that's another reason why you want to make sure that your escalation clause has a cap on it. Now, it could be that the other offer also contains an escalation clause. So in that instance, you might think of it somewhat as ping-ponging back and forth between the two, which is a dynamic of the negotiations that are important to kind of look for and discuss with your realtor. So your offer comes in at $300,000. It escalates up to $1,000 above that other offer. So if that other offer was $303,000, then yours is going to go $1,000 above that to $304,000, which could potentially kick in their escalation clause to up it higher. And at that point, it's going to depend upon who has the highest cap. And so it would escalate up to your cap. But remember, your cap was 305, so you're never going to escalate above your cap. But it's important that that's spelled out in the document. The other thing that obviously if someone's representing the seller that they're going to want to consider between the two offers is, are there any other credits? Are there any other adjustments that might impact the sales price versus just the sales price number? Because if there's any other credits, then that might change the net to the seller. And so the realtor will work with that seller to determine not only what the sales price is, but the net amount. So that's a little bit how an escalation clause works. One of the things that you always want to remember is whenever you're doing that, you want to defer to your real estate professionals. But more importantly, if you have any questions, always contact an attorney. I always want to remind you to contact an attorney if you have any other questions about the legal ramifications of a clause that you might get into. Now, a little of the subtleties with an escalation clause is sometimes a seller looks at an escalation clause and says, you know what? Hey, I really wished you would have made your best and highest offer initially. You know, I'm not quite sure what this escalation clause is. And so maybe I'm going to take another offer which might not have one. So there are different dynamics to the negotiations, which certainly happen in every transaction that you'll want to look out for and consult your realtor on. Another very important piece of the escalation clause is that you make sure that as a buyer that you are pre-approved up to what the highest price could be if your property offer escalated. So for example, if you had met with your lender and your lender had only approved you up to 300,000, don't write an escalation clause for 305,000, because not only then would you not potentially be approved up to that higher amount, you may have misrepresented yourself to the other side of the transaction. So as always, make sure you talk to your realtor about the best negotiating techniques that you can use in negotiating and trying to get your home of your dreams, and certainly consult your RE/MAX agent who can help you with those dynamics, and always consult an attorney if you have any extra questions or have anything further to ask. So I hope that helps understand and increase your knowledge and information of what an escalation clause is. Thank you very much, and hopefully you'll choose one of our outstanding RE/MAX agents to produce outstanding results for you.